January's a bitch. Everyone I know is complaining. Terrible time for relationships. I said to a friend of mine the other day, give it a rest, go away for a while and come back in the spring.
And what did he say?
She said, I can't, I've got to do this, I've got to do that.
I'm going away tomorrow. For a bit of a break.
January's a bitch. There's nothing to focus on. With December, you got Christmas, so that takes care of November. And with October, you've got the colors and the autumn leaves.
That's a lovely song. C'est une chanson qui nous ressemble.
September's like a relief after the summer.
Well, it wasn't really much of a summer.
The mornings are kind of cool and crisp. Start to wear your old sweaters again. Maybe buy a new jacket.
You can get to the coast in about an hour. By train, I mean.
January's a bitch. You just can't start anything. There's all these loose ends and vague ideas. We're caught between what we'd like to do and what we feel we ought to do. Nothing to focus on. That's what it is. That's what you have with January. Nothing to focus on.
Valentine's Day.
What?
Well, Valentine's Day. St. Patrick's Day. Easter. Cheap airfares.
Terrible time for relationships. Take this friend of mine. He goes away on a summer holiday.
Where?
Greece.
Nice.
Falls in love. I mean, he's got it bad. All he ever does is talk about her. Then last week he meets me for a drink and he's crying his eyes out.
What happened?
She left him.
Where?
I don't know. Apparently, she says, she's confused and needs time to think. You can't think in January. Everyone's confused in January.
Well, it's nearly February.
February's a bitch.
Is it?
An even worse time for relationships.
Why?
Everyone should be allowed to go away in February. At least that would be something to focus on.
I'm away for part of February.
28 days.
No, just a week or so.
4 weeks. My God, there's a lot to be said for hibernation. Squirrels have the right idea. Maybe pop out for a little light lunch and then back in till the spring.
Would you like a peanut?
Thanks.
I'm visiting my mother on the coast.
Terrible time for relationships of any kind.
Why don't you take a holiday?
What?
Or why don't you just leave February behind?
Where?
Here, and go somewhere else.
February's everywhere in February.
You just said a little while ago.
You can't just leave February. January or February. They're both here and so are we.
Well, maybe you'll feel better in March. I doubt it.
What?
Are you going to tell me that on March the 1st you're suddenly going to feel better about everything?
Yes.
January and February are what you want them to be, and you want them to be gloomy.
I don't want them to be, they just are.
Well, I like January. And February.
Don't be silly.
I do! And what's more, this is my favourite time of the year. I'm going home now to pack. In fact, you should do everyone you know a favour and do the same. Goodbye.
It's all right for some. time for relationships.
The days are short, way too long. One thing's right, everything is wrong. Staying in bed, gonna cover my head. This time of year I might as well be dead. Give me one good reason to get up today. I don't wanna eat, I don't wanna sleep, I don't wanna hear no crap from no creep. I don't give a fuck, why should I get up? I'll stare at my ceiling until the paint falls off. Give me one good reason to get up today. Days are short and way too long. Staying in bed,